shows here, but let's do it this way, guys. It's not your show. It's not my show. It's not Ashley's show. It's not Maureen's show. It's our show, right? It's the Chapters Network show tonight. Coming live from Florida here at Tan Talk Radio here in downtown Clearwater. We want to thank everybody for listening in. We have 2 fundraisers coming up tomorrow night at Maplewood Bowl in Countryside off US 19 right here in Clearwater. And we also have a Grease special fundraiser that we'll talk about later in the show. I want to thank everybody from Florida to tuning in tonight. We have an amazing show with amazing guests, and we're going to go into all that. We want to welcome you and thank you for allowing us to be on your radios or car radios or wherever you're listening now. I know it goes off to a lot of different radio stations here in the Florida area, but what we usually do on all of our network shows, we have music, right, guys?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so Tyler, kick us off with some music, buddy.
Absolutely, it would be an honor. It'd be an honor and a pleasure. So, what are we feeling? Are we feeling some Creed? For those unaware, I'm a 90s and 2000s sucker. Creed, Pearl Jam, all the good stuff that you might hear on The Shark, or Tan Talk, or anywhere. But it's great. So I think I'm gonna start off with a little Creed.
All
I
right.
think we all need to accept things with arms wide open, as Scott Stapp put it himself.
That's right.
And
That's right.
on my hand again, Dulcimer up in here.
All right,
So-
Tyler, Gianchetta, rock their world here in Florida, Tyler.
That's the plan. Well, I just heard the news today. It seems my life is gonna change. Close my eyes, begin to pray, and tears of joy stream down my face with arms wide open under the sunlight. Welcome to this place, I'll show you everything with arms wide open. With arms wide open. Well, I don't know if I'm ready to be the man I have to be. Take a breath, take her by my side. We're standing all and created a line with arms wide open under the sunlight. Welcome to this place, I'll show you everything with arms wide open. Now everything has changed. I'll show you love, I'll show you everything with arms wide open. Wide open. If I had just one wish, only one demand, hope he's not like me, hope he understands, so he can take this life, hold it by the hand. We can greet the world with arms wide open, with arms wide open, under the sunlight. Welcome to this place, I'll show you everything, with arms wide open. Now everything has changed, I'll show you love, show you everything with arms wide open. With arms wide open. I'll show you everything. Yeah. With arms wide open.
Yeah. Thank you. Welcome to
Oh, Florida.
Yeah. So talk about, what does it mean for you to be here today, Tyler?
It's been amazing. It's been a whole wild ride these last several months, and it really feels like a culmination of today, culmination of a journey, and the beginning of another one. Really, just everything's been a whirlwind ever since we landed, and just it's been amazing to continue to pay it forward and continue to do what we do, and to be here, to be in this great studio, and to have such amazing people around me has been incredible.
Now we're on Tan Talk Radio Network, 106.1 FM, 1340 AM, 1350 AM, and 1400 AM. www.tantalknetwork.com. You can check us out, or the Chapters Wrap with Steve Acal's Facebook page. But Tyler, you've overcome some adversity. What you share with our new viewers and listeners out there in your brief way, so people really get to know who you are?
Sure. So it's something that I don't try to hide from anymore. For those unaware, I currently I've been diagnosed with autism and several developmental disabilities since I was very, very young, approximately 2 years old. Was told I would never walk or talk. Shows how much they know. But and then recently in 2015, I was in a horrific car accident with my mother. To this day, I know anyone watching on Facebook, you can see the scar on my right hand. Anyone watching on radio, you can feel free to check it out on Facebook and see the scar on my right hand. But the laws of physics say we both should have died. And to make a long story short, neither of us did. And we can only attribute it to a miracle, and I'm thankful for that miracle every day, that I'm still here, still entertaining you guys, and still doing everything that people said I would never be able to do.
And you have a catchphrase that you tell people. It's not education. It's not entertainment. What is it?
It is edutainment.
Okay. How'd you come up with that?
I strive to bring forth edutainment. I know when people hear the phrase educational radio, everyone, I know I do, I sometimes kind of cringe because they're like, ugh, just like, expecting something boring or something like that. No disrespect to educational radio. I think it's very, very important. But edutainment takes that concept of and kind of twists it of, you're going to learn something, but you're going to definitely have fun while doing it. And on our show, the Chapters Wrap Youth Hero Show, that I'm blessed to co-host with Rachel Barcelona, we always make sure to make it a point to showcase our personalities and music and all the fun aspects that go along with it, while discussing some heavy topics such as special needs, such as adversity, such as abuse, or whatever it may be. So that's true edutainment in its purest form.
Well, this is the Chapters Network show here live on Tan Talk Radio, 1340 AM, 1350 AM, 1400 AM, and 106.1 FM. And we must say that Rachel Barcelona is supposed to be here. This is her hometown here. So we want to thank the Barcelonas for setting this up. Unfortunately, she had a death in her family, and she's struggling right now with her family. She's mourning with her family. So our thoughts and prayers go out to the Barcelona family. She does great work. And we're going to have some phone calls with some special guests in a few moments. But to my left, I have a young lady. Her name is Ashley Blum. And we're going to turn the corners there so our folks in New York can see. Ashley, you have your own show. Talk about that.
Yeah, so hi everyone. I just wanted to give a little background on me. My name is Ashley Blum. I'm 16 years old and I'm a junior in high school, which is very stressful, but here I am doing what I do, and I am the utmost honored to be here today with you guys just to talk about paying it forward and doing what we do, because this network is truly absolutely incredible, and I'm so blessed to be around so many amazing people who've really challenged me and shaped me into the best version of myself. In July, I started hosting my own talk show called Teen Talk, which has been one heck of a roller coaster ride. Let me just say that. I never knew how much it took to produce a show like that. So Steve, I want to thank you first and foremost for giving me this platform and helping me to grow and mentoring me. And on Teen Talk every week, I'm so blessed to be able to interview incredible people from all different ways of life, all different communities and backgrounds. I've had people who are battling cancer, people from the medical field, music artists, regular artists, everyone from all shapes of life, people in the sports industry. And people of all ages as well. So it's been really not only a learning experience for the viewers that watch my show, but also for me as a person. I learn about so many different things every week and about myself. And I've gone through a lot of challenges in my life. I lost my father when I was 11 years old. He passed away from cancer. And I went through my own fair share of bullying. I moved across the country from New York to Arizona and back again. And I'm very real about that on my show. I don't like to sugarcoat things. And in my opinion, the best kind of show is the show that's happy and positive and inspirational, but also real. My motto on my show is that nobody is perfect. And I'm very real with that with my viewers. And I show that I'm not perfect. And I suffer from anxiety and panic attacks as well from everything that I've gone through. And I know a lot of other people do as well, from just being in the middle of a pandemic, going to school, jobs, anything. And just to be able to share that platform with as many people as possible and inspire so many has been just such an eye-opener and such an honor.
Well, you know what? When we first met, you were 13 years old
Yes.
at a radio station, a college station in New York, a city college, and I always promote city schools. So York College, a shout out to you guys over there. But when you walked into the studio, I didn't really believe you were 13. I thought you were. I kept asking you. I want to see your birth certificate because you come across so much older and you have that old soul mentality.
Yeah.
But you also inspire others at the same time through your pageantry, through your schoolwork, through the hosting of your
Definitely.
teen talk show. Why is that so important to you?
Oh my gosh. Well, it's always been a huge part of my life because when I was going through my challenges, there were people along the way that helped to pick me up and show me that everything's going to be okay. And my mission in life is to show people that they're not alone. I recently received a pageant title, as you mentioned, Miss New York Role Model with Royal International Miss. So thank you guys. Big shout out. It's such an honor and I'm so blessed to have it. Just to be able to have that platform to really share my thoughts and beliefs. And the whole age thing, a lot of people think that I'm older than I actually am. I take pride in that. I'm very blessed to have gone through the things that I've been through because it did kind of push me to grow up a little bit faster than maybe some people would like or mature a little bit quicker. But I wouldn't change a thing about that particular aspect of it just because it's made me who I am. And every lesson that I've learned has a purpose. And paying it forward is my way to show the world and everyone who's helped me thank you and that it's going to be okay. I love to give the world a wake-up call every week on Teen Talk, showing them that there is still good in the world and it's not all the negativity that you hear out on social media.
And during this pandemic, it's so vital that we get messages out there like that. And I give you such a lot of credit because I often tell people I wear three hats. I'm a therapist, I'm a psychologist, so I listen, right?
Mm-hmm.
I host the show, and so I talk like I'm doing right now. But then I also produce, where this monster Steve comes out, and I put us all in situations like tonight into a real life situation, real radio. So you're kind of learning on the fly.
Oh, definitely.
And I know it's a challenge for you, but you do it so humbly and gracefully.
Thank
I want to
you.
thank you so very much because
Thank you.
it's not easy doing what we all do.
It's definitely not. I'm not used to winging things. Everyone who knows me knows that I like to plan things down to as much as I can. I'm very much of an overthinker and I get in my head sometimes, but I'm learning through being in this industry and meeting the people that I have that sometimes the best things come out of being spontaneous.
Right.
And some of the most organic connections are made that way. So I'm very grateful that I'm learning that.
Right. And you're going to do a duet with Tyler down the road.
Yes.
Here. In New York, we can't just do an hour show in Florida. We have to do an hour and a half show.
We go big or
so
go home.
you gotta stay right. Go big or home. We're gonna stay with us here in Florida till 9:30. If you want to pass that mic around to Maureen Griffin.
I have one more question.
Okay, go ahead.
I have one question. When I know the viewers and the listeners are going to hear all three Steves tonight, right?
All three Steves. They already heard all three Steves. No?
So you have met triple the amount of Steves that we have because we've only met the monster.
Wow. So Tyler, you're challenging me here. It's one thing to challenge me in New York, but to bring it to a new state, really?
This is where we air our dirty laundry.
Okay. And you know what? Just because of that, I want my shirt back after the show. Okay? Just so, all right. So just make sure.
I want my shirt back.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to pass we're doing a live stream here back in New York. So just so you know what's going on with this phone back here, Anthony in New York doing the board. We want to thank you very much, but we're going to pass the mic and the camera to Maureen Griffin. Maureen, what brings you to Florida here?
Oh, you did.
Okay.
A plane.
Actually, no, not for you, not a plane.
Oh, yeah.
A
we
car.
drove. My husband Curtis and I are absolutely honored to be part of this wonderful week where we're going to be paying it forward. We're doing the bowling alley at Maple
Lanes, Countryside.
Countryside, and we're going to be there entertaining, and there's lots of food, and then we're going to do the Grease benefit on Saturday in Land O'Lakes. I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, and you do so many great things. You throughout your whole life, but also later in life, and you host a show with your husband, which we're going to get to in a few moments. But why have you done things later in life? Why is it so important for you?
You know, I've always been a late bloomer. I always was my whole life, and I always felt like I was going to get my break in my 60s, and that's sort of what happened. I started writing music when I was 59, and recording it, became Miss New York Senior America, and all these doors opened up, a lot in part to you, making introductions to me and telling me about certain events I could do, and introducing me to these wonderful, amazing, youthful people here that just inspire me. I'm just amazed at how great they are.
I hope we're still going on strong in our 60s as you are.
I know, right? One can only dream.
That's why we're taking notes.
Well, Curtis and I believe that it's never too late to follow your dreams, and that's what my music's about. And Curtis taught me how to ride a motorcycle when I was 52, and we ride all around the country, and it inspires our music. And
So
and that's what we're
52
about.
years old. Wait, back up a minute.
Mhm.
52 years old, you started to ride a
Started
motorcycle.
to ride a motorcycle.
Wow, were you scared?
I was terrified. I wouldn't even get on the back of his bike
Wow.
when I first met him. I said, only crazy people ride motorcycles.
So
I have not changed that.
You must have really liked this guy.
He's so charming. He just charmed
Oh, he
me.
charmed you.
He charmed me.
How do you think I got her on the bike in the first place?
Oh, okay.
That's
She got 100,000 miles plus under her belt.
Yeah.
As you didn't guess it in Florida, Rodney Dangerfield just joined us in the studio. If you're just listening on the radio, live stream, you get to see Curtis in a few moments. So he charmed you, and now you have a life of love, right?
We absolutely do. It's been the most amazing thing. He was totally worth the wait. We didn't meet until I was 51. And it's just changed my life. And he convinced me that you have to say yes to every opportunity. And I was always like, I needed the script. Like Ashley said, I need things written out. I need it planned. I need the itinerary. And he's just like, rip it up and just go with the flow. And I have learned, like you, so much about life and living with that philosophy.
Yes.
So our TV show is called It's Never Too Late. We believe it's never too late to follow your dreams.
So how do people like Ashley and Maureen work with a guy like me?
That's a good question.
Wow.
Yeah. I didn't ask you, Curtis. You brought out of this.
Let me and Maureen handle this one.
I got a lot of training through Curtis.
Okay.
because
Oh, okay. See
Yeah.
that? All
Our
right.
first trip together, I said, okay, now where are we stopping the first night? Where are we stopping the second? Because I was going to have the hotels all booked and everything. He goes, are you kidding me? He says, we stop when we get tired. And then I said, well, what if there's not a hotel? He goes, there'll be a hotel. Don't worry about it. So I had a lot of training from him. So it's made me a lot more flexible,
Right, and
believe
you-
it or not.
And you put out some music. You have a couple CDs out there. Why don't you name those CDs? Because one of those songs we're going to hear later in the show.
Yeah, we're going to put one on. Biker Girl was my debut album. And then we have Hugs and Kisses, which is actually going to get re-released under a new name called Riding 9 to 5. Then we have Bikers Anonymous, When You're Addicted to Two Wheels, like I am. And then I have an old-time gospel album because my roots are in singing in church, and I put out a gospel album of my
Wow.
favorites.
How important is family and faith to you?
It's everything. It's everything. My faith is that my mother gave me that. Both my parents gave me that. And without that, I wouldn't be here.
Beautiful. Thank you, Maureen. Florida. Give her a round of applause. You have in the studio. And we're going to pass the mic here to her other half, Curtis. If I could do this stream thing. Okay, there's Curtis. We're live here on the radio, Tan Talk. So, Curtis, talk about your relationship with your wife.
Well, it's easy. Well, first, I took her for a ride on a bike, and she was freaking out. Went 30 miles an hour. We went out to dinner. She had a glass of wine. I said, "You want to take a long way home?" Next thing I know, she's got her eyes wide open and saying how beautiful it is. 9 months later, she had a permit, and I kind of yelled at her. I said, "What are you doing? This is a serious thing, getting on a motorcycle." Well, 2 weeks later, I believe she took a weekend trip with me. about 175 miles. We get there. She says, "But you're ready?" I couldn't believe it. But then I gave her a challenge. You had to pack for the bike trip. It was a whole weekend. It took her a week. She got one saddlebag. She says, "Where do I put my luggage?" I said, "That is your luggage right there." So that was a little bit of a challenge for her. So she started learning right away. But she now rides better than a lot of men I know that ride.
Ah, okay.
I guess I must be a good teacher. I'm finally good at something. I'll tell you.
Yeah, let's hear it because these guys in Florida, they haven't heard Rodney in a while. So give them some Rodney.
You know, I was at the beach today and I was drowning. I'm waving my arms, and I'm yelling. The lifeguard comes over. He says, "Keep it down." I'll tell you, I got no respect at all. I got a kidney-shaped pool. They put a stone in it. They call suicide prevention. They put me on hold. I'll tell you, it ain't easy being me.
All right. Courage Simone, Rodney Dangerfield. Tyler?
Was that an impression or was that Chris? I couldn't tell.
That was my other personality. Take it easy there, kid.
I'm not hearing it. I can't tell the difference.
Tyler's stirring the pot here tonight. He's making this
I
fun
know,
of the
you're
weather
like
here.
I sing as good as he does.
This is the Chapters Network show, but I got to tell you, we have some great guests in store for you tonight, all based in Florida or have connections to Florida. And we have two people on the line right now that Tyler and I will conduct this interview because we need the headset. And if I could have your headset, somebody's headset, so I could put that in there. And if we could bring them on, those two guests, that would be perfect. So this is the Chapters Network. Tyler, won't you introduce our guests?
Can't tell who it is.
Well, just mention who we have coming on.
So we have Temple Grandin coming on. We have Julie Coy coming on. We have Christine coming on.
Yes. No, not Christine. We have Temple Grand and Joy.
Temple Grandin and Joy. And
Yes.
Joy are on the line.
Are you on the line there? Yes. First of all, we apologize for the delay, and we thank you for your patience and your amazing work that you've done over the years and what you continue to do. So if you could, and I must tell you that Rachel Bossanola is not in studio. She had a situation with the family that she couldn't be here tonight. So she sends her love and regards. So I wanted to get at that up front. But thank you very much. We're going to look at this like as a little icebreaker because we're going to be working with you for a long time. And we're so very honored and privileged that you chose to be on our Chapters Network show tonight. So Tyler Gianchetta and myself, we're going to conduct the interview for tonight. But if you can introduce the people in Florida and New York about who you are and why you guys do the things that you do. Wow, that's amazing.
That's amazing.
And I know Tyler has been preparing for us to meet you. So Tyler, I know you have a question or two for them.
Yeah, I'm just in awe, and I'm not gonna lie, Grant. I thought
you were older, and just with how much you've done and how long you've been doing this, and how long have you been doing this? That's amazing. 12 years? That's incredible. So what was your first book? What got you into really illustrations, and how did you get involved with Temple Grandin?
Okay, Dottie's on the phone. Oh no, Dottie's gonna come on after. Yes, thank you. I'm sorry about that.
Julie, can you hear us? There we go. Yeah, now we're good. Sorry about that.
So after being trained to these animals, I was inspired to write a book about these animals. But these animals have disabilities or challenges, but they also have amazing abilities too. So this is our fifth book, which was Dr. Temple Grandin. It's our rapper friend. And this book has a topic. All my books have topics. This one is the autism spectrum. And I write my books about kids. Are we ready?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, folks, we can't put headphones on a microphone.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry about that,
Are you
Julia.
there?
Yeah, no, we're good. Anything can happen on a live radio show. But yeah, no, but that's
I was talking about the book. The Temple is the mentor in the book, and Grant introduces Temple to 15 characters on the autism spectrum.
I love that, and that's kind of emblematic of the journey that you have been on, and that we all have been on. Both people with and without a disability. We're all just meeting people along the way, and I love that you're able to express that through your art, just like I'm able to express that through my music, and see where life takes you.
Yes, yes. But we're also redefining what we're saying in this book. We're redefining terms. We're eliminating the words high functioning, moderate, and low functioning, and we're using Temple's expertise and replacing those words with fully verbal, partially verbal, and nonverbal autism abilities. You want to touch on that, Temple?
Yes, when I was 3 years old, I had no speech. I was a severely autistic child when I was a little kid, and I got a really good early educational intervention, and I had excellent teachers. And I've been helping out Grant. I've watched him develop over the years. He's doing his art shows and getting better and better at talking with the public. And the thing about people with autism is they have uneven skills. They're often going to be good at one thing and bad at something else. Grant's really good at art. I'm a professor of animal science at Colorado State University. I've done a lot of research on animal behavior. I'm a researcher. Also, I design corral systems and other equipment for the livestock industry. And I'm an extreme visual thinker, and that helped me understand animals.
I'm the same way.
Animals live in a sensory-based world, not a language-based world.
And that's amazing. And first of all, before we go any further, I need to express how personally honored and privileged I feel to be speaking to you, Temple. I know that me personally and my mother has heard you speak at least a dozen times, probably more.
Yeah.
And you have been a huge influence. You've directly influenced my life in more ways than I can even count. Because of your messages that you've preached and information that you've relayed to everyone that you speak to, including my mother, and that directly had an impact on my childhood and on my the person I've become. And I feel personally indebted to you on some
Well, I'm really
some
pleased
level.
I helped you out.
Well, thank you. And you are you've been incredible. So I don't know if you can touch on a lot of the kind of behavioral studies you've done. I know a lot of them are very interesting. Some involve cattle, some involve other livestock. And what is next on down the road for you in the long journey that you've been on to impact as many people as you can throughout your studies?
Well, I'm in my early 70s now, and one of the things I want to do is encourage young kids to be successful. I'm seeing a lot of kids that get labels, and they're getting kind of held back. They're not learning basic skills like shopping, things that I was doing when I was in elementary school. Another thing that was done with me in elementary school is my ability in art was always encouraged. And I think one of the worst things the schools have done is taking out all the hands-on classes: art, sewing, woodworking, metal shop, auto mechanics, cooking, all the hands-on things. They need to put those things back in the schools.
Absolutely. And that, again, speaks very personal to me. You've seen people have been hearing this, been hearing my music and my art and Grant's art, and it definitely it saved my life. And it's definitely just a very pivotal part of expression that I don't think should be written off as just some cheap, just a cheap performance gimmick. It's more than a gimmick. It saves people's lives and it gives people the means to express themselves, and that cannot be overstated.
Exactly. Just like when Temple would see the Grant tore paper, people wrote that off and said, "Oh, you need to stop him from tearing paper." But when I showed Temple Grant's portfolio, she saw something else in Grant. And we are honored that Temple has mentored so many, and we are who we are today because Temple believed in us. So yes, Temple has made a difference in so many people's lives.
Absolutely.
Well, I want to work on, taking advantage of things that people can do. And I have seen a lot of Grant's art, and it's absolutely beautiful. He's done some major commissions. His art's beautiful.
Definitely.
Thank you, Temple.
And I've been privileged to see some of it as well. And I agree with Temple Grant. It is beautiful. And I've heard, I'm curious to see, because I know that in your book, which will be out soon, and I definitely want to talk more about that shortly. How did you come up with the names of the animals? And then for those watching on Facebook right now, the book cover is up on your screen, and it looks fantastic. If I may say so myself.
Our books are about Grant's real life friends. The book itself, Grant the Jigsaw Giraffe, is about Grant Monnier, but with a twist. He's a giraffe, and so am I. I'm Mama Jules the giraffe.
What a twist.
And it's our true testament, our story of how we've walked this journey. We find mentors to help these individual animals in the book, whether it's dyslexia, cancer. We even wrote a book on the pandemic. We're writing a book about bullying, limb deficiency. We find mentors. And that's how the book came about. And people started approaching me after the first book. We sold 15,000 books.
Wow.
And I was approached with other stories about individuals we knew. And I said, well, I did not set out to be a writer. I was terrible at language arts. But I have ghostwriters. But I can't tell stories. So what the heck? Just get started. So I got started, and I wrote the book about dyslexia. And our books also have a font in the book called the Dyslexie Font, which was new to me because I have to do research when I do my work. I was approached about the font, and that font sells 50% of our book. Henry Winkler has it in his book, and J.K. Rowling just recreated a series, Harry Potter series, with a dyslexia font. Because that was a huge challenge to a lot of people in the world. So the Dyslexie font has made a difference in our book as well. And so I write the story about the individual. You'll see their biography in our book. And Tori, the little red panda, is really Tori Rash, who suffers from dyslexia.
Wow. I doing a show with Rachel for 8 months, 8, 9, something like that. And hearing everything that all of our guests have had to say, I always feel like, at some point that I've come up with everything. It has been made apparent time and time again that I have not come up with everything because I've never come up. I never even thought to do that, a dyslexic font. And now that I'm hearing it out loud, I'm just like, wow, this should exist. And I'm glad that it does.
It's changed so many people. Strangers, I tell them about the font. They go and they buy it. They email me and said, "You changed my life. I can cut and paste it into my Word, and it's Dyslexie font, and I can read it faster now."
Of course. Surely. Sorry, no, go ahead. Sure. Sorry. Surely you guys have won some awards for that. I mean, that's that's a novel concept. No pun intended.
We won awards. We won. The Texans gave us an award for a Children's Book Award for Media and Communication, and the Barbara Bush Literacy Foundation recognized our book as well.
Wow, that's.
This is all within 3 years?
3 years.
Minus 2020.
True.
That one didn't count.
A lot of our motivation and people believing in us, like Temple, is what keeps us going. Because this is an area I never thought I would be doing. Let alone art, which I do not have any knowledge, not then, but I do now. and writing, but you know what? I'm not afraid to take the bull by the horn.
Yeah, clearly, you've really been a trendsetter and you couldn't have said it better myself. You've taken the bull by the horns, and I'm glad that someone had to, and I'm glad that that person has been you and Grant and Temple. And Temple, what kind of impact has the book and has its well, I guess not success yet because it's not out yet, but what kind of impact has this whole journey had on you? And I know that you have spoken at a lot of things and have done so much throughout your journey. But how is this book? Where does this book rank among your top kind of accomplishments?
I really like seeing, people with autism out doing positive things. This is what I liked so much about Julie and Grant when I first met them at an art show, doing really good positive things, showing, what a person with autism can do. Really positive. That's the kind of stuff I like. So I did everything to encourage them to continue, and they've just done a fantastic job with their books. I think those books are going to help get those children to have a better attitude about people with disabilities. I think that's a good thing. But I always like positive messages.
Absolutely, and that's what we preach. That's what we preach. That's all we preach here is positivity and giving back and doing great things. How can people find out more about you, all of you, and about the book, and when's it coming out, and where can people get it?
Okay, so we're going to start pre-order March 25th, but the book is scheduled to be here April 4th. Right in that range, April 4th. As long as we don't have another Texas freeze. Our book will be here the first part of April. So that is the goal there.
Definitely.
And I wanted to
Everyone mark your calendars.
Yes, please do. And our future goals is that we, of course, will have more books. We have limb deficiency, bullying, all this coming up. We would like to have our books in other languages. And we have been working on audiobooks that we hope to have on Audible. We have been doing a lot, but my greatest goal for Grant and all my animal character friends and the people who jumped on board to help us with this is someone out there, listen, we want to become an animated cartoon series, and that will happen. With the voiceovers that Grant has been doing and all the other characters, I hope that a network would take our characters and use their voices, and then I can create employment for these individuals as well.
Well, we want to thank you very much, but before you go, what's your thoughts about Rachel Barcelona and the work that she does and your collaborative efforts with her?
Well, Rachel is in our book. She is also in our book because she's on the autism spectrum. She plays a little pony, a pony in the book, and we just love what Rachel's doing. She inspires all the girls to, believe in themselves, don't give up on their dreams. I just am enamored by what she does.
So are we.
Yes. Well, we want to thank you very much for taking this time to join us on the Chapters Network here at Tan Talk Radio Network. And this is just the beginning. This is an icebreaker. And we're so very thankful and privileged that you took the time to have a little chat with Tyler. And God bless your efforts.
Can we say where to find Grant's book?
Absolutely.
Definitely.
I'd be insulted if you didn't.
You can find my books and my art prints all on my website. Just go to Jigsaw, like a puzzle, jigsawgrant.com.
Love it.
All right.
Love it.
Well,
Thank
thank
you
you
so
very
much,
much.
man, for
God
making
bless.
me-
God bless.
Temple.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is the Chapters Network here on Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340, AM 1350, AM 1400, and now on 106.1 FM. If you want to call in locally, please do it 727-441-3000 or the toll-free number. There is toll-free number still, I guess, 1-866-826-1340. And we want to give a shout out to all the people in New York and Anthony. Great job navigating through this chaos here in Florida, but we're getting it done. What's your thoughts about what you just heard, Tyler?
I'm in complete awe. I love everything they said. I think that, that there's a reason why they've been as successful as they have and have been able to persevere the way they've persevered. Just there, and I don't know if you could tell by that conversation, but just the amount of positivity and energy in their voice, just hearing what they have to say, just kind of perks you up. And I don't know about you, Steve, but I'm ready to run through a wall.
Yes, I'm gonna run right with you. Because you know why? When you run through that wall, I'm gonna run with you and get my shirt back. That's what I'm gonna do.
Oh, we're back to this.
That's a
Yeah,
good
we're back to the
plan.
shirt. That's a
Alright,
good plan.
alright, good plan.
But this
You
is
have
the
to
chapter.
first.
Now we give Tyler a round of applause for conducting such a great interview. And I want to thank Ed behind the glass here at Tan Talk. He's we're giving him a work through here. So, but we have another exciting guest here based in Florida. Her name is Dottie Groover Skipper. She's a missionary founder of Heart Dance, Reclaiming Dignity, Value, and Worth. And I met her at a meet and greet right here in Tampa, thanks to Julie Reyes and her husband, DJ. And do we have Dottie on the line here?
Yes, hi Steve.
Hey, Dottie, how are you? Good. How are you? Sorry about the wait, but we wanted to make sure we got you on because you were doing such great work. But share with our viewers and listeners here, not just in Florida, not just in New York, but around the country of what you do and why you do it.
Yes, well, about 13 years ago, I founded a ministry called Heart Dance Foundation. Are y'all getting an echo back?
It's a little bit of an echo, but we're gonna roll with it because we're streamlining it here and we're live radio, so we're gonna work on that.
Okay, all right. And our ministry focuses on going into the strip club in Tampa Bay and ministering to the precious women that are in the club. And we go in there, we just want them to see and know that they are of great value, dignity, and worth, and that we see them with no agenda other than to let them know that we do see them and we want to help them in any way that we possibly can. Many of the women feel trapped in that industry and the lifestyle, and they don't really know how to get out. So we work with them to have a safety plan to get out. Many of the women are pimp controlled, so it's not really safe for them to leave without a plan. So we help them. And if they're not ready to get out of the life in the industry, we still provide resources as best we possibly can. So that's just a little snippet of what Heart Dance is all about.
But you've been doing this kind of work for 40 plus years. I want you to share with our viewers and listeners. I know it's such challenging work, but for 40 years, you must have been seeing a lot of changes, and it must have been rewarding, but also heartbreaking at the same time.
Yes, 40 years ago, I was teaching self-esteem classes in the most marginalized neighborhoods in Tampa. And a 13-year-old girl was in my class, very disruptive, could not figure out what to do with her. She had so much anger. She asked if she could bring her 4-year-old sister with her to the next class, and I said, of course. I thought it would de-escalate her behavior. And when she brought her 4-year-old sister, you know how you just know that you know that you know in your gut that something isn't right. That's how I felt about the 4-year-old. Make a long story short, I was so conflicted that there was an investigation done, and it turns out that the 13-year-old and her 4-year-old sister lived with their grandmother, who was selling both of them on the street every night in exchange for drugs. And to make it even more horrific, the 4-year-old had a sexually transmitted disease.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you how that shook me to the core. And the Lord plucked a string in my heart 40 plus years ago to get involved in this arena. It was human trafficking. There was no label at that time. I would try to explain things to people and they would look at me like I had two heads. But I've been in the trenches for 40 years, and that is the spark that the Lord placed in me to be a fighter in this arena for all this time.
Well, that's amazing, Dottie. And looking at your logo, Heart Dance, Foundation Inc., Heart Dance, and Heart They have a cross and a sunshine and reclaiming dignity, value, and worth. It seems like that's been your mission and calling for all these years.
Absolutely. Because, what I realized a long time ago, that we are all just one decision away from being in a situation that we might not want to be in, that we never dreamed of being in. So that just really resonated me when I realized that. I could have easily been a woman or a girl trapped in that kind of situation. So I'm just very blessed that the Lord has used me as a vehicle to empower girls and women who feel like they can't climb out of this pit that they might be in.
I asked a co-host of mine, Maureen Griffin, earlier in the show, family and faith. How does family and faith mean to you? Because I had the pleasure of sitting with you. My wife and I sat with your husband on Friday night, and a couple of things I learned. I learned that he gives you roses for the last 15 years. You always have that on the table, number one. And then he makes a mean fried chicken that I haven't had, but I'll take your word for it. But how important is family and faith to you?
Oh, it is absolutely everything. I was very blessed to be raised in a Christian home as a little girl, and that's just something that never leaves you when you find Jesus and the Lord, and do your best to be courageous and bold enough to do the work that you feel He wants you to do. There's just nothing like it. But faith and family is everything. Getting back to my husband, Roger, we are high school sweethearts that reconnected about 15 years ago. And just like Maureen, I am a sassy in my 60s woman.
Oh, oh, yeah, there we go. Maureen's very sassy, let me tell you.
As today was not any indication.
But that's a message right there. You're talking about your husband so glowingly, and Maureen talked about Curtis, and we do this often. But you need that support and that teamwork and that love and that connection to share that faith. Correct?
Yes, absolutely. He definitely is the wind beneath my wings. And the reason since we reconnected 15 years ago, I've never not had roses in the house.
Wow.
And recently, I really discovered why he does that. It's because he wants to always remind me in a visual way to stop and smell the roses. And it works.
Wow. Wow.
I love that.
Love it.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
Dottie, that is so inspiring, but the work that you do is never ending, right? We have a long battle with trafficking, human trafficking. What's your vision during this pandemic? I mean, where do you see things going for the rest of 2021 and for the next several years?
Well, the pandemic has actually increased sex trafficking, it's increased child abuse, domestic violence, suicides, drug addiction. The pandemic has been horrific on many, many levels. And I do fear with the current situation where people are coming into our country, crossing the borders, many children are not escorted by adults, that I believe there's going to be an increase in trafficking in the United States.
Wow.
So all we can keep doing is listen to what the Holy Spirit is telling us what to do in each situation at all times. And again, be bold enough and courageous enough to walk through those doors that you would have never imagined that you'd be walking through. I never thought I would be going to strip clubs on the weekend.
And you have a team of people, and I like how you phrased it, because when when the men go with you, they don't go inside, they stay on outside. They're like kind of bodyguards, but also, you know, talking to the club managers and the owners and the women themselves after they come out, inspiring them or attempting to inspire them to bring them closer to God, but also to make better choices, correct?
That's right. You know, when the ministry first started, I did not have a vision that men would be involved, but the Lord had a different vision.
Right.
And finally, we had several men say, we want to go out with you. And I would just say, no, just pray for us. But then there were 3 murders in 3 clubs within 3 weeks. So they reached back out and said, Dottie, we really want to go out with you. And I said, okay.
Mhm.
So they started going out, and what we have found is that they are building relationship in the parking lot
Wow.
with valet guys, the door guys, the bouncers. Sometimes the DJ will come out. The women on the team will walk into the club, and the DJ might actually announce that the church ladies are in the house. But then he'll say, "Are your men in the parking lot?"
Right.
And we give him a thumbs up. He put sometimes music on that keep going by itself. You guys know what that's called. I don't. I'm not a radio or DJ person. But he will then go out the parking lot and talk to our men. And they're building relationship, inviting them to dinner, to breakfast, sometimes to Bible studies. It's just absolutely incredible.
Wow, that is a blessing. We only have a few moments left, but Julie and DJ Reyes contacted us, brought us together. Say a few words about that wonderful family.
Oh, I cannot say enough wonderful things.
And I'm sorry, Di, we have like 30 seconds at a time. I'm on a new radio station, so please share that though. I want to hear about the Reyeses.
Yes, I mean, they are both warriors, incredibly compassionate, passionate warriors with tremendous connections to the community that are helping so many people.
Dottie, thank you very much. God bless you. We will see each other down the road real soon. This is the top of the hour break on Tan Talk Radio Network. All right. So we're gonna come back with Maureen, your song,
Okay.
and then I'll introduce you, and then after the song, we'll get to the quote. All right, and then I'll Christine. I don't even know if she called.
Yeah. We don't have to hold their heads.
No.
So,
About 5 minutes, but we're live. We're live, yeah. On Florida, we're on a break here, so we're still live here in New York and on our Chapters Wrap Facebook page. So we want to thank you for all the listeners and viewers out there for participating in this. We're kind of simulcasting in Florida, so it's very tricky. So Tyler, how has this experience been for you?
It's been great. It's first simulcast. That's amazing. I feel like Michael J. But actually, sorry. Now I feel like.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
But and I have Don ranting.
Right. But let's talk about the event tomorrow night. If Anthony could pop that on the screen here, we're going to be at Maple Lane's Time to Shine. And how important is that for you?
It means everything. Again, as I said at the top of the show, it feels like a culmination of a lot of hard work and yet the start of a new journey. I will be there. Steve will be there. Everyone on the stream will be there, including several pageant queens that we had on last week on the Youth Hero show.
Yes.
And it's just going to be a great time. It's going to be an amazing it's a celebration. That's truly what it is.
That's right. We have a lot of great people coming out. And Ashley, we were up bright and early this morning
Yes, we
doing
were.
some Grease stuff. And talk about that
Yes.
because we have another fundraiser on the
We
13th.
do.
Talk about that.
I'm so excited. So this Saturday, we're going to be doing a fundraiser in the park here in Florida, and we're all going to be performing here. It's to give back to veterans and a bunch of other amazing charities. And I'm so excited. Today we had the honor of meeting some people that'll be at that event, and we got to shoot a little promo, and me and Maureen got to sing a little, which was very fun.
Man.
And I'm excited to perform again, go back to my theater kid roots. I did Grease, the show, about a year ago. I was Marty in that, so I'm very
Okay.
excited. It's one of my favorite musicals of all time, favorite movies. But what's more important than all of the singing and whatever else goes on is just what it's for. It's such a great cause. So make sure that you guys, if you're in the area, please come check it out. Come meet us. And I'm sure that we'll be broadcasting live from there, doing something.
Yes. But you
And
know what?
So
we're
exciting.
it's simulcast. But you said you and Maureen sang this morning
We
together,
did.
right?
Yeah,
Well, you
yeah.
know what? I gotta ask you. Can you do a little song for our Florida group here right now? Right
We
now,
should.
can you do
What
that?
should we do? Worst
All
things
right.
I could do.
Are you ready?
I can flirt.
Let's go.
Yes,
Let's
okay.
go.
I could flirt with all the guys, smile at them and bat my eyes, press against them when we dance, make them think they stand a chance, then refuse to see it through. That's a thing I never do. There's your little snippet.
Yes. Give it a round of applause.
Thank you.
Grease is the word, right?
Grease is the word.
We want to thank Robbie Robinson for doing an incredible video to support this. And we got Troy calling in at the end of the show. Hopefully we have a half hour of this. And Maureen, what does it mean to you to be part of something like this?
Oh, this is fantastic. To come to another state and be able to pay it forward to so many more people than we did before. It's great. And I am so honored to be amongst these young, amazing people.
That's right.
Really.
Am I
amazing.
one of the young or amazing or either one of them?
You're only as young as you feel.
There you go.
Oh, thank you,
Thanks for the
Tyler.
out, Tyler.
Tyler from
Why
left
weren't you
field.
Tyler
That's
Gianchetta?
right. There we go.
I'm gonna start counting how many times you roast someone.
Is it the Chapters Rap Roadshow or the Chapters Rap Roadshow?
No,
I think
there we go.
we just
But wait a
established
minute.
that.
We're from New York. We've been to the beaches. It's freezing there. Do you prefer winter in Florida or winter in New York?
Winter in Florida, I think.
Yeah.
Really? You've
I
been
mean,
here
I
10
live,
minutes.
as I mentioned,
It wasn't even winter.
As I mentioned, I used to live in Arizona. I lived there for 2 years, and their winters were like 60 degrees. So I'm back in what I'm sort of used to. So I'm chilling.
Well, as you know, it was our first winter in the Mohawk Valley, and I was mentally prepared for January and February. But come March 1st, when it was still 0 degrees and icy, I said, that's it, I'm done. We came to Florida.
Yeah.
We're here live in Florida on Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340, AM 1350, AM 1400, and also now on FM 106.1. If you want to call in, please do it 727-441-3000 or the toll-free number 1-866-826-1340. I think we're just about to rejoin the Florida radio stations right now, so we're going to mix it up. I think we have a guest that's going to be coming on. But before we do that, Tyler, tell everybody again about that dulcimer thing you got around your neck.
So this is the dulcimer. I've been playing it since 2012, and it's been. It started as me not being coordinated enough to play guitar, and it's now turned into an identity. And it's been a great journey ever since.
Okay, well, we have another guest that's coming up real soon, right after the news break here, which I think ends momentarily. But I just want to say I'm thankful for everybody getting here safely here to Florida. We all came at separate times. My wife and I came here about a week ago, and we've been connecting with so many people here. The plan is to bring this network to a higher level, and that's why we're in Florida, to do some fundraisers and pay it forward efforts. So I want to thank everybody here. And we're just about to join the Florida crew again. And we have another guest that's on the line. Christine, are you there? This is the Chapters Network. I'm Stephen Carey, your host and psychologist. Got Tyler Gianchetta with me, Ashley Blum, Maureen Griffin, Curtis Damone here. We're taking over the Tan Talk radio network here, AM 1340, AM 1350, AM 1400, now on 106.1 FM. And you can call in locally, 727-441-3000. 1-866-826-1340 is the toll-free number. And Christine, welcome to our show here tonight.
Thank you. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. We might be a little echoey here, but we're going to work out the kinks. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
How do I get the echo off?
We'll handle that on our end.
Okay. Sure. I'm with the Center for Autism at the University of South Florida. And Rachel is on our constituency.
Very cool.
That's good.
Very cool.
And we mentioned earlier in the show that Rachel had a personal emergency. She had a death in the family. She will not be here tonight. And her co-host, Tyler Gianchetta, is here. And myself, we have a few moments to chat with you. So talk about your collaborative efforts with Rachel.
Well, I've been friends with Rachel since I think she was in middle school. And she was developing her platform. And she wanted to talk about autism and how it affected girls particularly. And so I started working with her and have just followed her journey.
Wow, that's amazing. And what's your vision during this pandemic of helping others on the spectrum or struggling with any kind of other adversities?
Well, we like to be able to predict, and individuals with autism often like to know what to expect. So that has been a challenge, as you can imagine. And all of our services and resources, which were out in the community, are now virtual. So home visits, school visits, public awareness events, everything is done through Zoom and Teams and Facebook Live.
Okay. Well, Christine, we want to thank you so very much for joining us. How can people contact you or connect with you if they want to help or support or further understand everything that you do?
Sure, and I'll drop it in the Zoom chat as well, but you can get us on our website at usf.2/autism and call us at 813-974-2532.
And we're going to have an event tomorrow night. We hope to see you and your crew down there at Maple Lane's Countryside there in Clearwater. And it's from 7 to 11. Yes, thank you so very much. And some of the proceeds of tomorrow's events are going right back to you and all the outstanding work that you do.
Oh, thank you so much.
We would definitely love to talk to you now.
Well, God bless you. And this is the Chapters Network here on Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340, AM 1350, AM 1400, now on 106.1 FM. If you want to join in, please do this love train here, 727-441-3000, or the toll-free number 1-866-826-1340. But I need more music. Tyler, you killed it early in the show. And we have another host here, Maureen Griffin, that has many CDs out, several CDs out. And what are you going to show us tonight?
From our debut album, Biker Girl, all my songs are based on true stories, most of them from riding on motorcycles around the country. This song came to us when we were riding through the Georgia cotton fields and they were in bloom, and it was feeling kind of very Gone with the Wind, kind of very bluesy. So I wrote this song called Been Riding.
Okay, let's check it out. Florida, get ready.
Thank you, thank you.
Look, that's all.
I have to give credit to the guitarist is Jason Green. He's amazing. He's in the Blues Hall of Fame. And you got to check him out, Jason Green, also known as The Thumb.
Wow.
He's fabulous.
Maureen, that's awesome, awesome. And we got a lot of people making comments. They love your music here in Florida.
Oh, that's wonderful. Makes me feel so good.
Now, it's always important to be inspired by either sayings or readings or quotes. And this young lady, Ashley Blum, on her show, Teen Talk, every week, she has an amazing quote. And Ashley, share with the Florida folk here about why you do that, number one, before you flash up the quote.
So on my show, as you mentioned, I always bring up probably at least 2 quotes a show. It used to be 1, and I was like, I think I need more because I'm afraid people are going to start knowing me as the quote girl, which, you know what? I'm fine with it. I'm owning it. I was known as the Blum girl back in middle school, so I guess it's 2.0 now. But I always think that it's nice to hear from other people's points of view on different things that are going on in the world. And sometimes we just need that extra motivation. You know, it's not always easy to go about your day and go through the obstacles that life throws at you. It's certainly never a dull moment, especially when you have a lot going on in your life, which everyone does. And on my show, I like to go and reflect on all these quotes and give my viewers something to think about for the week to come, just something that they can keep in their heart to push them through those difficult times in their week. And I think that it's really beautiful. I've definitely really taken a lot from these quotes, and some of them are now in my head permanently, and I just rattle them off. I could give you like 10 right now, but I have a new quote for you guys, and this one is by Richard Branson, and it says, "If your dreams don't scare you, they're too small." And it's really simple. Some of my quotes are more complicated than others, but I think this one's really short and sweet. And it's the truth. You know, on my show, my main goal is to tell people that your dreams are never too small. You can always go after what you want. I'm still in high school, but I'm trying to chase as many dreams as I can. I want to go to medical school and have a family someday. And I think that what we learn every day in our life brings us to our goals. And it's not easy. If you're in your comfort zone, you're not doing enough. And I learned that the very hard way because my comfort zone is like my little blanket. I never want to leave it. And it's still hard for me to step out of the box sometimes. And as I said, be spontaneous. It's very tricky for me. So this quote is a wake-up call for myself because dreams are meant to be scary. You're meant to be absolutely terrified. And that's how I've been at points in my life. And that's okay. That means you're doing it right. And that's good. So just keep up what you're doing. And once you achieve a goal, set a higher one, set a bigger one, go on to the next, and never stop becoming the best version of yourself because it's all inside of us.
Wow, very well said. So we kick it back with music, with quotes, and this is what we do to pay it forward. We want to give a shout out to Dawn Reese. I know she's watching right now. We've been friends for years. We simulcasted some shows together, and the first time we met each other was yesterday when we did our show yesterday. So Dawn, thank you for hooking us up in your studio here at Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340, AM 1350, AM 1400. And now 106.1 FM. And we have about 10 minutes left. You can call locally, 727-441-3000, or the toll-free number 1-866-826-1340. Or you can watch this show on YouTube on www.tantalk1340.com. I want to thank Eddie behind the glass for doing a great job tonight. Let's give Eddie a round of applause here. Watching New York Strangers. And really kicking it back and helping us here. But we're here for a cause. We have a big fundraiser tomorrow at Maple Lanes in Countryside. We want to share that. It's a fundraiser for many, many organizations that have come together, several that have called the show tonight, and all in the honor to giving it back, paying it forward here in Florida. It's bowling, entertainment, food, free shoes, and a great time. It's a great networking thing. I want to thank Julie Reyes for helping me set things up there, and the Laspina family, because you guys, Ashley and Tyler and Rachel, do shows from RBC Lanes in Long Island. They also own these lanes here. So we want to thank the Laspinas. I understand Mr. Laspina will be there tomorrow night, so looking forward to seeing him and all the great people that are going to be coming out. And then Grease is the Word on Saturday, March 13th at Heritage Park in Land O'Lakes, Florida. It's a free event from 4 to 8 p.m. You want to check it out. First responders, police officers, fire people are coming down. And our Chapters Rap All-Star Band 2 will be performing. Maureen, Ashley, Tyler, and Rachel.
We're very excited.
We're very excited about that. So we're going to be doing some Grease stuff. We got our leather pants, and Curtis is going to be doing something, right, Curtis?
Hey, yeah, I'm just going to show up and enjoy the festivities. I heard there's a classic car show going on.
Yeah. So Rodney Dangerfield, how do you feel about everything that's going on here?
Well, I'll tell you, I don't know how I'm going to get there. The weather over here is hot. Oh, jeez. We'll make it out. We'll figure out how to get there. Don't worry about it.
But you came today. We had that little dress thing going on. You had the cigarettes in your T-shirt. You had the leather jacket.
Part, right?
That's right. But
we went all out.
That's right. You went all out. But we are here to kind of give it back. And like I said earlier, I'm a psychologist that has been doing this stuff for a while now. I'm so thankful that us New Yorkers have been able to come down because we're trying to plant some roots here too, working here. Our next overnight gig, you guys don't even know this, a couple months from now, we're going to try to do something in Nashville, Tennessee.
Yes.
And, Maureen has already sang in Nashville, right?
Yeah, Tootsie's. That was an amazing experience. I just walked in with my crown and sash, and I said, "Hi, I'm New York. I want to sing here." And they said, "Okay, go up." So I got to sing my song Grand Ole Opry.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure you're going to be playing that when we announce this. When the pandemic lifts, God willing, we're all going to hightail it to Nashville. We have a couple of friends in Nashville that are going to help us out musically and with some nonprofits there. But that's our next gig. So look out for some information on the Chapters Rap and Facebook page. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. But we're still here in Florida. And what we do, we have a few minutes left. And I'm going to have Ashley switch seats with me.
Yeah.
Because she's going to do a little duet with Tyler Gianchetta. These guys really, I admire them so much. I learned so much from them. You know, the youth is our future. And that's pretty much why I do everything that I do. It's not about self promotion or anything like that. It's really about promoting the young people. And Tyler, Ashley, and Rachel really have stepped up over the last couple of months to really help and inspire other people that are challenged with any form of disability or adversity, but young people struggling during adversity, during the pandemic. During this pandemic, you know, kids are isolated, they're detached, they're not in school, mental health, the issues are coming up, the suicide rate is high. So we really need to keep doing our part. So I admire both of you guys, but we always end in song. So we're going to try to time this with the radio and with our live stream. I want to thank Anthony back home. Let's give Anthony a round of applause.
Thank you, Anthony.
And Anthony, just pop that little picture of the promo for tomorrow up on the screen so we can switch places. All right, Ash, there we go. So Ashley Blum and Tyler Gianchetta will take us home in song.
Absolutely, it's an honor, and thank you again, Florida, for listening to me, for just everything. It's been an amazing experience. You've all been very welcoming to these New York strangers up in here, or I guess down here. Thank you again to Tan Talk Network for welcoming us into your home and allowing us to be on this platform. And we always strive to entertain, and like Steve said earlier, everyone's going through the hell of it in this pandemic.
Yeah, for sure.
This pandemic, and depression is up, suicide is up, and I think this song kind of gives people a little bit of hope. It's by one of our favorite bands, Ashes Remain. Fitting, Ashley doing Ashes Remain, because she will remain.
But yeah, thank you guys all so much for the support. I always say on my show that it's because of the viewers that we are where we are.
Yeah, it's because of you, the people. So, without further ado, this is Where We'd Be Without You by Ashes Remain. Underneath the cold November sky, I'll wait for you. Even as the pages of my life roam by, I'll wait for you. I'm so desperate just to see your face. Made me in this broken place. Hold me now, I need to feel you. Show me how to make it new again. There's no one I can run to, and nothing I could ever do. I'll know if I'm here without you. Oh, oh, oh. Even if you take it all away, I'll wait for you. Even when the light begins to fade, I'll wait for you. I'm so desperate, calling out your name. Meet me in this broken place. Oh, now I need to feel you. Show me how to make it new again. There's no one I can run to, and nothing I could ever do. Oh no, where if I'm here.
I'm tired of running and wrestling with these angels. I lay down my life and I surrender. Oh, I need to feel you.
Show me how to make it new again. There's no one I can run to, nothing I could ever do. Oh no, I need to feel you. Show me how to make it new again. There's no one I can run to, and nothing I could ever do. Oh no, if I'm here without you. Oh.
Yes, yes. It doesn't matter what state, you guys nail it everywhere.
We'll have to test our luck next time in Nashville.
That's right. So you guys, what does it mean to like sing a duet like that? It's so
Oh my
powerful
gosh,
and
music
meaningful.
has always
It's
been a
great.
part of my life. I play the ukulele. I didn't bring the uke. I should have. Next time I will. It's always been a part of my life. My dad played the guitar, and it's just kind of always been in my roots on both sides of my family, and it's always been my way to express myself and share positivity with the world.
Wow, we've been doing so many things in New York, and to come to Florida, what does it mean to you to really perform to a new crowd out there that we're going to see tomorrow at Maple Lanes and Countryside, and also see for this Greece thing? Because if we win this competition at Greece, we get $5,000 that we can give back to another charity.
Yeah.
So,
We're coming for you guys.
Yes, yes. So what does it mean to really connect with a new crowd out there, Tyler?
Oh, it's been unreal. And again, just to be able to hear everyone's reaction, to be able to share it with a new platform and share it with new people who haven't heard us, and get our message out there and get our music out there through the message. It's been amazing. It's been a dream come true. I've always wanted. I don't know about you, Ashley. I've always wanted to just be sitting at a table, playing on a live radio, just playing.
Oh,
my
me
heart
too.
out.
This is literally,
bucket list items.
it's magical. And I know that sounds cheesy, but it really is. It's a dream just to be able to inspire. And it's so much more than just being on the radio. It's why we're here, and it's what we're doing and
Well,
our mission.
We have about 30 seconds left. We're missing somebody tonight, Rachel Barcelona.
Yes.
Tyler, talk about Rachel right now. I know the family is struggling during some mourning, but talk about your co-host.
Working with Rachel has been surreal. She's Miss Tampa runner-up. She's another Miss Florida. She's been amazing. She's a great ambassador for the autism community. Had a great impact on me and introduced me to so many new people that I never would have dreamed of being able to meet. I never thought when I was diagnosed at 2 years old that I would ever be speaking the Temple of Grandin.
Well, thank you very much. Ashley, real quick, 2 seconds about Rachel.
Oh, she's absolutely incredible. I look up to her, and I'm so glad that I'm her friend.
Good night, guys. Thank you for letting us in your home. God bless. We'll see you down the road real soon on the Chapters Rap Love Chain.